What is up, guys? Welcome to Diggity, a video game podcast. I'm Jeff James. As always, with me, the incredible, unobtainable, luscious Brody Fultz. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good.
Sweet, man. I'm doing good too. Busy week?
Yeah, so far, well, work hasn't been too crazy busy, but I've been busy enough and had some stuff going on. But how about you? Sounds like you've had a pretty busy week.
Yeah, I've been pretty. I've been pretty busy. Yeah. I feel like people probably think that I just say that as like small talk at the start of the podcast, just so like whatever. But I don't think people understand.
This fucking guy, he doesn't even play games.
Yeah, no, but I also just think that like people just think I do like that. How are you? And blah blah blah. But it's like we like some weeks.
This is
between
really
texting,
we
talk, and then we talk like usually on the weekends when we play games together online. But like we've been both so busy during the weeks that like this is typically when I actually figure out if you've had a good or bad or a shitty week. So it's authentic chat, I swear to God. But it is what it is. Authentic. I mean, in the world of podcasts where I guess other people just do small talk bullshit, we're actually just trying to have an authentic conversation. It's the times we live in, man. But anyways, every single week, Brody and I discuss gaming news from around the interwebs and beyond it as well, and bring it to your ears on every major podcast platform. So if you're listening for the first time, hit the subscribe button, whether on YouTube or you're listening to the audio version of the podcast. And typically, we go live around 9-ish, 9:15-ish. O'clock on the old YouTubes on Thursday nights, and the audio version goes up hot and steamy and fresh, scheduled for 5 a.m. every Friday morning. What? What'd you say?
I said, get it while it's hot.
Get it while it's hot. Every Friday morning at 5 a.m. for that commute or that eventual commute that's coming back, so we can all hate our lives again and sit in our cars forever. Not me, though. I drive into the middle of nowhere currently, and it takes me like 17 minutes. So,
same.
Indiana
Absolutely
life, baby. Indiana life. I have a city here, and then there's nothing around me.
Yeah, nothing for a good 20 minutes, and then you might find another city maybe.
And then there's like a stretch.
Somewhat decent town, I guess.
Yeah, with weird names. And then there's like a stretch for like an hour where there's just nothing, and then you hit Indianapolis, and you're like, oh, wow.
Hey, that's where this is.
Well actually, there's nothing, and then you drive on the interstate, and then you see a giant Nesquik bunny, and then all of a sudden it's just like an urban utopia of a bunch of crazy shit going on. You're just like, wow, this escalated quickly. Like cornfields, Nesquik bunny, giant Nesquik factory, and then...
That Nesquik bunny has been there forever, and I remember that being like a mark of when we were like getting close to Indy or whatever when I was a kid.
So
the thing's been there forever.
So two things. Get this. One, the screen is pretty messed up on the Nesquik bunny.
Oh, yeah.
You can't really see shit on it. Two, in the line of work that I'm in right now, I speak to a lot of like bigger companies, and sometimes these companies are overseas. I ended up speaking with Nestle through my job, but I was speaking to Nestle people in operations at Nestle that were in South Korea and Switzerland, and I'm talking to the guy in South Korea. He's like, Indiana. I'm like, yeah. He's like, do they have that giant bunny on the side of the road still? And I'm like, oh my God. How the fuck is this happening? I was just like, how in the hell does this guy, and then he goes in to explain he's the dude that helped put that factory in place.
Really?
Yeah, from South Korea. He lived in Indiana for 3 years. He lived in Indiana while they built that plant.
Probably motherfucked that bunny every day.
Every day.
Just absolutely.
Every day. He's like, it won't work. I told him, like, dude, the screen's broken. You get your ass over here from South Korea and you need to fix that shit, dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Diggity Podcast. And like I said before, subscribe to our podcast on YouTube or the podcast platform if you're choosing. We are on damn well every platform. I mean, everyone's making a new platform here and there. But
it's true.
We're on them. We try to keep up with the times.
We are.
I think we do it.
I think we've managed to be just about everywhere. I I think. I mean, if there's anywhere we are not, you please let us know, and we will make ourselves known there.
I think we've also made it through the hell of the great podcast statistic purge because we seem to start going up again now, which is nice. But
yeah, there for a while.
Stats are weird, y'all.
They are weird.
It's a weird place. No one knows what's going on. No one knows. It's crazy.
Yeah, it seems like we're crawling our way back out of hell. It's great.
I love it. Anyways, moving on from hell, what games did you play this week?
I played some Final Fantasy 14. That's kind of becoming the game I've been playing quite a bit of lately. We played some Cold War Zombies, which that Outbreak mode, like we posted about it today. It's still awesome. I still enjoy that mode. I love
it so much. It is fantastic.
I can see how it could get old at some point.
Yeah, it's repetitive.
It can get a little repetitive, but it is still less repetitive than regular zombies. So that in itself is already great. But it sounds like, I mean, they hopefully will be adding more content to this because it's really, really, really awesome. And then the other thing I have been playing, I just started playing it tonight, and I've owned this game for a while. It's actually Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. It's like a 2D. It's a 2D like fighting game. It's cool. It's cool. It's kind of simpler. It's not as crazy as some of the fighting games. It doesn't seem like either that or I'm just really bad, which is also very possible. And you have like, I mean, it is a tag team thing. So you pick like two fighters and they'll jump in. And then once one gets KO'd, you bring in the other one and stuff. I mean, so far from what I've played of it, it's pretty good. And I bought it a long time ago and I've been playing it, or I have not played it for a couple years now and jump back in, and relatively simple and but it's good. I mean, it's got some Persona characters in there, Persona 4 characters, Blaze Blue characters, and then it's also got Ruby characters actually, believe it or not. So that's kind of neat. Interesting, yeah.
How is Rooster Teeth doing?
I have no clue. No clue. I haven't listened to Rooster Teeth in a long time.
I go back and watch the Funhouse stuff, the Cucks video, because it cracks me up every time I watch it. But I haven't seen like any of their stuff on time. I didn't know that Ruby was. I mean, I know Ruby is big. Everyone's gonna lose their shit and be like, "What do you fucking mean?" Blah blah blah. It's just, I didn't know. If I carry, I'm digging myself a hole. Okay, cool. I played Spider-Man, and I also played Zombies Outbreak with you.
Miles Morales or
no, original. I played remastered version of Spider-Man. So I had fun with that. Had a blast with that. Trying to go back and just kind of like get all the trophies up. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. And so you didn't 100% at your
no. Okay. I'm a fucking casual.
Miles is even harder to 100% just because there's some very not necessarily harder, but there's some things where you have to get like so many combo and skill based stuff and things like that. So
yeah, I'm just going through the defeat all these enemies and get all the car chases in this zone. You're like swinging around for 10 minutes being like, somebody fucking make a crime. Like, I know how Spider-Man feels now. Like how you don't want to solve all the crimes. You don't want to get rid of your job. You know?
Right. Job security.
That's right,
keep some
dude.
Villains around.
Exactly. That's why he goes corrupt, man. Jesus. And then played Zombies with you. So that was fun. I love if they made this like a standalone game.
There's rumor.
If they made it a standalone game and it wasn't as repetitive, I mean, I don't feel the repetitiveness in it yet because we put a good amount of time into it, but I don't think we put that much time into it yet. But I mean, like where there's drops and stuff, you'd be like, oh yeah, there's usually a drop here. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, you kind of figured some of that out, but I mean, to an extent, that's also, I mean, even your battle royale is kind of
that's pretty much video games.
Right, that's video games in a nutshell. But this, I think it switches it up enough that, I mean, really at this point, most of the times that we've played, each time we do one of these like 3 levels essentially that they mainly have, it's a different objective on each level. and it kind of switches it around. And even then, there's like random spawns of big guys and things like that. And I mean, honestly, I haven't felt the fatigue of it yet either. And like I said, it's way less repetitive than regular zombies, and people have put hundreds of hours into regular zombies. So if you haven't tried this, I strongly recommend giving this a go if you already have Cold War or whatever.
Oh, it's fantastic. Dude, even if you don't like COD, it's worth honestly jumping into it and trying it out.
Yeah, this is by far the most fun I've had in COD in a long time. And I actually really enjoyed Modern Warfare too, but this is just so much better. I mean, we were playing on Monday while the girls were watching The Bachelor, and my wife said that she could hear me down here shouting about zombies, and she could hear you talking to, or while she was talking to your wife on the phone about The Bachelor, she could hear you screaming about zombies too.
Did she hear the part where I said our wives are watching dumb shit while we play this awesome game?
I don't know.
Might have. I stand by my comment, baby.
Yep.
Stand by it.
You got the upcoming games.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it a typo or is this legit?
No, I had to add something, so I changed my order up. And
okay, all right,
way to go about it.
All right, let me fuck this up. March 19th, Can't Drive This comes to PC, PS5, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Plants vs. Zombies: Battle for Neighborville comes to Switch. March 22nd, Fall Guys Season 4 will be coming to PC and PS4. Vaporum Lockdown will come to Switch. And March 23rd, you're going to see Hunting Simulator 2, A Ranger's Life DLC, come to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, and Xbox One. Overcooked All You Can Eat will be coming to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. And Stories of Seasons, Pioneers of Olive Town will be coming to Switch just in the US. Moving on from that, March 24th, we'll see Paradise Lost hit PS4, PS5. Oh my gosh, PC, PS4. There, I did it. And Xbox One. I made it pretty far. Woo! And March 25th, you're going to see Black Legend come to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Holy shit! Dark with a Q, Complete Edition, comes to PS5 and Xbox Series X. Oh, gee, you gave me the fucking Spanish thing. How do you even say what? El Hio? El Hio?
El Hio.
El Hio. Okay. Guys from Canada, terrible with Spanish. If it's French, sure. El Hio, A Wild West Tale comes to PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Evil Inside comes to the PS5 and PS4. Immortals Phoenix Rising, Myths of the Eastern Realm DLC. It's already getting DLC. Let's go, baby. Comes to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and Stadia. No comment on no Luna, but whatever. And Yakuza 6 comes to PC. So there you go. Those are your games. What are you looking forward to on that one? Overcooked All You Can Eat. That's pretty neat.
Yeah. I guess I'm kind of looking forward to Fall Guys Season 4. It looks like there's some cool stuff in there. I have Immortals Phoenix Rising, but I haven't beat the main game, so I don't really care about DLC at this point. Really, this week's a little dull. Next week we'll get some good stuff though. Monster Hunter Rise next week, man. I'm pumped.
You could be lost in the Rise now.
Oh yeah. Just another thing for me to get hopelessly lost into. It's great.
I'm excited to see how the Immortals Phoenix Rising DLC does, just for that IP, to see how it continues on. Because I want it to live on. I mean, I do want it to, something new to come in that realm of things. So, other than that, I don't know. I'm not... Hunting Simulator, I'm actually kind of intrigued by. My buddy Brad plays Hunting... No, he doesn't. He plays Hunter Call of the Wild. Or whatever it is. Never mind. Nope. Kind of mixed up. I don't know. There's nothing here that I'm really like, oh. I think it's cool that Overcooked All You Can Eat is finally coming to like Switch.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that will do...
That's what I have it on.
Pretty well. Yeah, I have it on Switch, and I think I have it. Shoot, at this point, I'm pretty sure I have it on Xbox and probably PC as well. Not that I think it's been the free game, and I've gotten it through a Humble bundle at some point too. But
Nice.
I don't know. It's hard to keep track of what I have where and things at this point. It's just a mess.
Cool. Now you get to do the even shittier job.
Yeah. Coming and leaving Game Pass.
Oh, God.
Here we go. Available now. Undertale is available on cloud, console, and PC. Empire of Sin is available on cloud, console, and PC. Near Automata is on PC. This version is different than the Steam version. This is actually very important. And this actually appears to fix many of the issues with the initial PC port that still plague the game to this day. The game is basically unplayable on Steam.
So what's happening to the PC game? Are they going to fix that?
No, this is... Oh, the Steam version? No.
Yeah.
No, since they ported it over, it hasn't gotten any patches. Yeah. So Xbox
Oh my God.
actually had somebody else essentially do this port from what I understand, and they fixed it. The Steam version has to be played with mods if you're going to play it. That's how bad it is.
Holy crap.
So this is very cool for PC players. Star Wars Squadron is coming to console and PC. Initially, it was just announced as console, but we'll get to that here in a minute. And Torchlight 3 is coming to PC on March 25th. Genesis Noir is coming to console and PC. Octopath Traveler is coming to console and PC. Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire Ultimate Edition is coming to PC. Superland is coming to PC. Yakuza 6 The Song of Life is coming to cloud, console, and PC. March 30th, Narita Boy is coming to cloud, console, and PC. April 1st, Outriders, when it launches, is coming to cloud and console. And the games that will be leaving this month, leaving on March 31st to be exact, Hyperdot, console, and PC. Journey to the Savage Planet is leaving console, and Machinarium is leaving PC. Now, when I mentioned something about Star Wars Squadrons, this is because PC Game Pass now includes EA Play games, which is actually very cool. You will still have to download the EA desktop app, which isn't as cool, but it's fine. You will be given the option to link your Xbox account, giving you access to all of the benefits of the EA Play membership. But EA Play on PC was lacking, or I guess Game Pass was lacking on PC, was missing that EA Play content, and now it's there. And I mean, Game Pass is just awesome. I really like Game Pass. It's so good. I hardly ever play anything off of it, but it's nice knowing it's there.
I mean, like it's one of the craziest values, like looking at it. Like,
oh yeah.
I mean, from when it started, we were kind of like, okay, cool, we can see this, but like, are they actually going to do it properly in the future? You know what I mean? And they've totally nailed it.
Yeah, if you get into one good indie game off that list, you pay for your subscription for the month.
Oh yeah. If you're new to Xbox, oh my God.
Oh, it's a no-brainer.
It's
a no-brainer at that point. And it includes Live, which you have to pay for anyway at this point. I mean, I think Game Pass is just a no-brainer. And if you have a PC too, I think the Ultimate version is 100% a no-brainer as well. It's just great. There's so much good stuff on this list, and it just keeps getting better too. As I mean, Bethesda's games are now on there, and EA Play, like all of these things are just it's wild to see this. What started as, I mean, a few good games, and then like a ton of not saying the indie games aren't bad, but smaller indie games, and then a few like AAA games. And now it's just it's massive at this point. It's crazy.
Can I do PlayStation side?
You sure can.
Hell yeah. Friend. Everyone getting free shit all the time.
Ooh, free
Starting
shit.
March 25th, you'll be able to claim 5 indie and 4 VR games, okay? Because we've got the next batch of free, awesome stuff for PlayStation's Play at Home 2021. So for your indie titles, you're going to get Abzu, or you can get Abzu, Enter the Gungeon, Res Infinite, Subnautica, and The Witness. On the VR side of things, you can get the Astrobot Rescue Mission, Moss, Thumper, and Paper Beast. These games will be free to claim until April 23rd at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. And starting April 19th, you'll be able to claim Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition. Bruh. This will be yours to keep as long as it's claimed by May 14th at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Unreal. Unbelievable. They're just giving it away. It's crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
my mind is blown by this
I mean,
stuff.
the game goes on sale for like $10 pretty regularly, but it's still awesome to get it for free because it's a fantastic game.
Yeah, it's I can't believe how they making money. Like all these companies just constantly giving away shit for free, and it's like Sony is paying for it. Well, I mean they own the studio in this instance, but well, no, they're paying for some of the stuff, but they're paying for it, and then Microsoft's got a godly amount of money, right? Paying for all this other stuff, and I just sit there and I'm like, holy crap! Like, I mean, honestly, the last 2 years, you could buy a system, play free to play games, and just continually get free shit that probably would tie you over no problem for like the average gamer if you didn't fall into the trap of marketing for all these new games all the time. It's pretty wild.
You figure probably the average gamer is not playing 30 games in a year either. Like most people play like 2 or 3 games. I can most of my friends that are not people who sit around and play games quite often, they have like Call of Duty and Madden. Like those are always what you hear.
This is the problem, right? With like our little community of podcasters and gaming podcasts. It's like those companies don't give a fuck about us. I mean, honestly, we buy their shit regardless. The general public, the GP, as I call them, like they love this shit. Like they're like, Subnautica, what's that? And we'll be like, man, we've played that on 4 different fucking systems now, and it's been free on every single one, or it's been on Game Pass, and they'll love it. So, I mean, we always have to remember, the good old GP, my dudes. So yeah, and then they've made another acquisition. Is that right, Brody?
Yes, they have. So PlayStation has now bought Evo. The announcement came from a tweet from the official PlayStation Twitter account, welcoming Evo into the PlayStation family, and then it links to their blog post. So Sony Interactive Entertainment and new esports venture RTS have jointly acquired the Evolution Championship Series. For those who don't know what Evo is the longest-running fighting game tournament, which began in 1996. Sony and RTS plan to keep Evo co-founders Tom and Tony Cannon in advisory roles. They also announced that Evo will return this August as Evo Online. The tournament will run from August 6th through the 8th and also the 13th through the 15th. Games that have been mentioned so far are Tekken 7, Street Fighter 5 Champion Edition, Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, and Guilty Gear Strive. And Evo has also addressed the new partnership and stated that the tournament will remain open to all platforms going forward, and that this will not become a PlayStation-only event. And of course, concern arose after they announced this, and there's no mention of Smash Bros. So, it is odd to not see that, but we also usually see more than 4 games at Evo, so I'm hoping there's more announced. People are freaking out about this a little bit more than what I think they should. I don't think this is going to be one of those deals where it's like, okay, well now Smash Bros doesn't have a place to go or things like that. I think this was just a smart business move by PlayStation.
I mean, it's Sony at the end of the day has a gaming brand, which is PlayStation, and PlayStation has taken upon themselves to buy something that is a tournament. And I mean, esports is hot as shit. So yeah, makes sense. You know what I mean? Like if you've got the money, you go for it. I mean, you add it, and you also have shareholders at the end of the day. So you have to do these things. I mean, that's how it is. So, whatever. Plus, people always freak out, dude, whenever there's like crossover, shit. Look at Disney with like Fox, right? And The Simpsons and all that kind of stuff, right? Disney owns the rights to Marvel. Universal owns the rights to using Marvel in the theme parks east of the Mississippi. Okay? There's still a fucking Hulk roller coaster at Universal Orlando. There's still money to be made. Disney collects a check from Universal for both the Simpsons land and for Marvel. Totally fine. They're in harmony. Totally fine. We're good. We're fucking fine. It's business. That's what fucking business is.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think it's a great move.
I don't think this is going to be anything where it's just going to completely change Evo. I imagine Evo is going to operate pretty much the same. It's been around since 1996. If they go in there and try to change everything, people are going to lose their absolute minds and Evo will fold. So to keep it the way it is and use it as a great way to promote business, that's the best thing you could do. And I imagine that is what PlayStation is going to do. They are not idiots.
No, not at all. Xbox has added a new small feature that can have pretty big impact on download speed for users. So as part of the Xbox Insider program, Xbox Series X and S users can now use a feature called Suspend My Game from the download queue screen. This feature allows you to download a game at full speed without losing the ability to quick resume the game later on.
It's a minor feature that I think was just kind of an oversight when they launched it.
Yeah,
it's just
100%.
I mean, it makes sense, and it makes sense why it wouldn't download at full speed because there is a game suspended. But at the same time, the fact that they've added this is great, and I mean, they are doing some pretty good things there and improving some minor complaints. I mean, that to me is a little bit of a major complaint just because download times are already slow enough and they're capped at something ridiculously low. But yeah, I mean, I've gigabit internet and I would like to get the best internet possible for downloading my games. That's why I pay for gigabit internet. So it's cool.
And deal with the many stresses of a mesh network.
This is also true. It is a absolute nightmare, and I hate it every day. Gamescom 2021 is happening this year. So according to a tweet from the official Gamescom Twitter profile, the show must go on. Gamescom goes hybrid. We are excited to announce that Gamescom 2021 is planned to take place in Cologne, as well as online all over the world. Get ready for our on-site entertainment area, new trailers, demos, and much more. Stay tuned. So cool.
Cool. I don't know how you really have this like hybrid. I mean,
just
it's always been hybrid because they do the fucking thing and then they have live streams from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really.
To me, it's essentially just Gamescom 2021. It's not really hybrid.
I also hope and feel that they probably could have done it in person because this is what, August is when Gamescom usually takes place in Cologne. And I believe, yeah, I think it's August or like September or something like that because it's Gamescom. It's GDC, then Gamescom, right? And then you get your PAX.
Yeah.
I could be all wrong. I could be completely out of order. But anyways.
You're right. It's GDC, PAX, then Gamescom, and then PAX West. Is that right?
Something like that. But I don't know. I mean, that's cool. I'm happy they're having that. But I feel like I would hope that by August, for the love of God, we would be able to be people at a show, at a trade show. But who knows?
Who knows? I mean, it would be great to be back to that point, but we'll see. We'll see. We're getting there slowly.
God.
I mean, to be fair, most of the time people in public spaces can't be normal human beings anyway, but...
Well, for sure. I mean, Walmart is a perfect example of that. But... Walmart is a perfect example of that. But
oh, yeah.
I just mean I would hope that cases just continue to go down like they are. But here's the thing, too. That's also me being ignorant because, I mean, we seem to have this vaccine shit pretty well under control right now. And I don't think Europe really has a great handle on it yet. Parts of Europe. So I know Canada doesn't.
And with this being in Germany, I mean, that is slightly concerning. There should be, I mean, plenty of time for this to be postponed or canceled if need be. But yeah, it's interesting. It's just weird after the last year to hear of like a event happening like this. It's just bizarre.
I've started getting some for like 2022 for trade shows. That I used to go to through work, and I'm like, man, And then the big gamble is, are people going to go to it? You know? Like, are people going to see the value in going to Gamescom, or are people going to see the value in going to GDC and stuff like that? God damn it. Fucking...
You talking about the conversation in the chat?
Yeah, you guys are just fighting about old games. Old and new games.
He was knocking on Game Pass and saying it's not a good deal because it has old games.
That's because Ed fucking loves Nintendo.
I know, and that's exactly what I said.
Nintendo Online is ass.
He goes, that's for people who weren't around at that time. He said Final Fantasy 12, which was on PS2, which is not on Game Pass because it's an online service.
I think he means 17.
I think he means
14,
13.
13.
I think he means 13. Anyway, Ed, it's a good deal. Just take it.
Ed, it's a good fucking deal. Nintendo Online is not good. It's not even an opinion. It's a fucking fact.
Anyways,
yeah, this will be cool to see this. Jade Raymond has founded a new studio named Haven. So the new studio will be based in Montreal, for those who speak English, and will be independent. Haven Studios has been formed by Jade and many of the connections she has made throughout her time, and will be backed by Sony. That's why she fucking left. The studio's first project will be a new unannounced IP that appears to be exclusive to PlayStation. It's almost as if this studio will be completely purchased by Sony in a couple of years. Yeah, fucking 100%. This is Sony saying, you go into Montreal and you kind of fucking do this and we'll back you up. And then in 5 years, we acquired you. Oh my God, come on.
It made me laugh too because twice in the article, it's a Sony blog article talking about Haven and saying that they are independent. And it made me laugh because 100% they're going to game and Sony's gonna pick them up.
Yes. If Jade Raymond had a fucking, her own, she has her own entity in Canada, and Sony's probably just like, oh well, shit, we don't have a business entity for a new studio in Canada. Let's just fucking roll that in. Let's get into Montreal.
I feel like Jade Raymond has bounced around all over the place since we've been doing this podcast. Because I know we've talked about it at least 3 or 4 times. Well, yeah. She's bounced around at least 3 or 4 times. And granted, a few of them, the studio essentially like folded up or the game was canceled and then she bailed out. But she does great work. She's worked on some awesome titles and things.
She's a cool Canadian.
Yeah. And there's that. The Canadian thing brings it down just a little bit, but
she went to McGill University. I'm more of a big fan of University of Toronto myself, and she's from Montreal, and I prefer that Toronto's better because Toronto's better in every single way imaginable. But whatever. But yeah, she was best known for helping create the Assassin's Creed and Watch Dog franchises, and for building the Ubisoft Toronto and EA Motive Studios. That's she had a hand in a shit ton of games. Do you want me to read the list from the end, or do you want me to read the list from the beginning? Unless she made a shit ton of great games. The first one at the bottom of those 2017 Battlefront 2. I'm sorry. Star Wars Battlefront 2, The Mighty Quest for Epic Loot, Far Cry 4. Assassin's Creed Unity, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Blacklist, Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed Bloodline, Assassin's Creed 2. She was the producer for the Assassin's Creed. She was the producer for Sims Online, the managing director for Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriot. She's jumped around since from producer, executive producer, and managing director for quite some time. So she gets shit done. That's clear. So, and she honestly, here's the thing though, right? Like we can say she jumped stuff, but like the smart people know when to jump off the fucking ship, and she jumped out of Stadia pretty quick. So it wasn't. It was a good thing. Probably leaving Stadia for her professional career and it is what it is. She's born in 1975. She's 45 years old. She doesn't look like that at all.
Yeah.
But this photo could be older.
That's true as well. It's wild. It'll be interesting to see what they end up doing and what this new IP is. I am excited. I mean, Sony obviously really focuses on these single player experiences, so I imagine this will be just that. And on it, we live in a day and age where there's so many online services and this and that I personally just enjoy the single player experiences more than anything anymore. It's just nice to have that break and
I agree.
And not have to have constant pressure of teammates and things like that. Just kind of go with things at your own pace. But we'll see what they come up with.
Cool.
So EA's back under fire. I know that's a huge shocker, but recently a FIFA Twitch streamer and YouTuber decided to do the math on FIFA Ultimate Team and how fair the system truly is. Shocker. It's not very fair. According to EA, everyone should be able to get all of the players that they desire without spending money in game, essentially saying that their microtransactions are a way to fast track to their end goal team. So Scuds TV on Twitter strongly disagrees with the EA stance on their microtransactions, saying that in order to earn his desired team, which would cost 100 million in-game coin, he would roughly have to play for 22,000 hours or spend €80, which is about the equivalent of 95,317 grand. And this was all based on the drop rates and how things are earned throughout the game. He gave a pretty lengthy write-up, and I strongly suggest going and checking out his tweets or one of the millions of articles that are out now that include this guy and his work on this. Because this is just the Cliff Notes version, because we're a podcast. We don't want to focus on reading 8 pages of findings.
You don't like to fucking read?
Yeah, we don't like to read. So, yeah, absolutely. EA's microtransactions for their Ultimate Team are fucking shit. And I don't think anybody's surprised by this. I mean, are we surprised by this, really? This is the same company that put out Battlefront 2. I mean, and it still has one of the most highly upvoted posts on Reddit about how shitty their microtransaction system is.
I mean, here's the thing, right? Is like there's going to be two. Have they responded back yet or no? Like an actual response, or just been like, we're looking into how it might cost,
I haven't seen a proper.
Okay, so I mean, basically, they're going to come. They're probably going to change this. Good for this guy for showing this, because that is not fair. I mean, like at all. That's pretty fucking crazy. That's really fucking crazy. But I mean, I think the big thing on this too is like they're going to go into their legal shit where technically it's still possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they'll say we're making drop rates work better and blah, blah, blah. But also, again, the other thing is I don't think they really give a shit.
No, of course they don't.
Because this is a game that the general public just purchases, Like, you get it. Every year, my friends buy NHL, the new version of NHL, back home in Canada. Every year here in America, a lot of people either buy Madden or they buy the new 2K basketball game, right?
Yeah.
They're just going to keep doing it. They're just going to keep doing it. And that's cool. And they'll be like, well, we're going to lose the biggest FIFA streamers. I don't think it really fucking matters.
No, because the biggest FIFA streamers aren't going to leave FIFA because that's what pays their bills.
Correct. And even if they leave it, I don't think it's going to hurt FIFA that bad.
No.
Because it's tied to a fucking sport. It's something that you can literally go do in real life. And watch as well. You just watch a match on TV. I mean, like, I just don't... I don't know. I feel... I get why he did it. It's smart that he did it. I'm thankful that he did it because it shows that kind of bullshit. But
here is why they don't give a shit. Across all sports franchises, including FIFA and Madden, EA generated a total of $1.49 billion through the Ultimate Team platform, a 120 million increase on 2019's revenue total of 1.37 billion.
During a fucking
they
pandemic.
Don't give a shit.
During a pandemic.
Yeah, they do not care. They're
No.
not going to change it.
No.
It doesn't matter.
And to be honest with you, as a business, they shouldn't change it for their fucking business.
Right.
It prints fucking money.
I hate it, but that's also why I don't play it. I don't play it because I knew from the beginning it's shit. Like, that is a bad system. And of course it's going to take forever because that's how they get you to buy the microtransaction.
Yes.
Is it wrong? From a morality standpoint, yes. From a business standpoint,
oh my God. Brilliant. From a business standpoint. We're not a business podcast, but my God, we need to understand at least that this is a company making fucking money and it has to make money for its investors.
If you have not watched, well, I know you have, Jeff. This is for the listeners. If you have not watched Mythic Quest, go watch Mythic Quest. And the microtransaction marketing guy is absolutely what I imagine all of these guys at these companies act like. Just 100%. Just nails it. Yeah. I mean, $1.37 billion. They're not going to change shit. And this whole like thing that got really blown up, and yeah, we're covering it now too, so I guess we're part of the problem.
No, we're not, because we've got a better take than most people.
This is true, but I don't. You're not wrong, but it's just the fact that this is blowing up now, like it's some surprising new evidence. It just why it's not new. This is not new. This has been known for years since the Ultimate Team system came out. It has been known.
Do you want to tell me that they put content and story over fucking microtransactions in Madden? One of the key points in the story mode in Madden is the character that you're going to go up against who's going to be lead QB, and the whole reason why you even start is because he got fucking asthma, and then they diagnosed it as a heart condition. He didn't say anything, and the clip runs about 30 seconds, and it's super shitty acting where it's like, I didn't want to tell them I had a heart issue, and then he goes, I have to tell someone, and then you're on the fucking field. This company just wants to make a lot of money off of this because people keep paying it. If you don't like this and you give them your money, you are part of the fucking problem. Yeah. If you want them to stop doing this, the free market dictates that you need to stop buying the shit that you're complaining about, and they'll have to fucking change it. But the people are not doing that, and they're making an assload of money. Why the fuck would they change it? Also, to Mythic Quest, I have been Brad. Yes. I have been on the creative side, and I have been Brad from fucking Mythic Quest.
Yeah.
I am a liaison between the two.
I mean, tomorrow maybe we'll see a headline that's like, hey, casinos make money off of you betting. No fucking shit. That is how this is set up. God, I don't get it. I don't know why we go through this cycle
every
all the
fucking
time in games.
4 months we go through this cycle. Loot boxes are predatory. Don't fucking buy them then. Don't buy them. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Don't buy them or expect the game to be shit. Because they can't pour as much money into it.
Right. So PlayStation 5's VR controllers
this is
have been revealed.
Shit. This is my shit.
Oh, fine. You fucking read it then.
We're both we both got worked up on this because we go over it every 4 fucking months.
Yeah.
It's a business.
It's not as jarring when you don't have to cover it at 3 times a year.
Or worked
when you
in
talk about it. Right. Or for you worked in it. It's redundant.
Oh my God. It's like when you go to Disney World, do you think Mickey Mouse is happy and holding your hand? He's fucking you in the ass for an $8 pineapple Dole Whip. It's like 25 cents to make it. It's a fucking business. And you eat the Dole Whip. You let Mickey bend you over and you eat the Dole Whip.
All of these restaurants you go to a sit-down restaurant, and it's like $3 for a pop.
Chipotle. It's $4 for a fucking cup of queso and fucking tortilla chips that just came out of a bag. Some dude oversalted the shit out of them, and they let them sit there in a heater for hours.
Well, and pop, like I was saying, or soda, depending on where you live, it is like $10 for a bag of that flavoring that makes like hundreds of servings.
Yes.
10 cents for that flavoring. It is dirt cheap, and you are paying $3 for a drink. Absolutely. Yeah, they're going to keep doing it. The prices of pop has not gone down. Come on.
Shit, man.
Oh, fucking rocket science over here. Jesus.
Oh my God. God. Good Lord. Anyways, PlayStation 5's VR, we're going to be hated. We're going to be hated because we just sit here and go, they're making money. If you don't like it, don't buy it.
Yeah. Fuck us for using common sense, I guess.
God. Good God. Anyways, PlayStation 5's VR controllers have now been revealed. So let's talk about the design. They describe it as being an orb. The controllers are designed to be comfortable and balanced in each hand. That does not restrict any movement. The adaptive triggers are very similar to the tech that's used in the DualSense controller, which is fantastic because that just adds another sense to the controller. Haptic feedback is also in it, which is similar again to the DualSense, but designed and optimized for the specific form factor and the unique application of virtual reality. It's got finger touch detection, so even parts of the controller that do not have buttons can track where your fingers are, allowing you to make more gestures during gameplay. That's cool. It's got tracking, obviously, so you'll be tracked by the new VR headset through a tracking ring across the bottom of the controller. The action buttons and analog sticks are as follows. So the left controller has one analog stick. You have a triangle and square buttons around that, and a grip button being your L1, and a trigger button being L2, as well as a create button. Obviously, they're going to go heavy on brain fart.
Yeah.
Shit.
Share button.
No, the game where they also Dreams, yeah. Then the right controller
for a game or
yeah. Then the right controller will have the one analog stick as well. Circle and cross button will be on here, or the X button as some refer to, or as my friend Brad refers to on the first one, the triangle and the box button. I'm like, Brad, it's a fucking square. Box. Hit box. Anyways, grip button will be R1 on this one. The trigger button will be R2, and you'll also have an options button on this one. These look exactly like Oculus.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just one more ring. I mean, it's the way to do it for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, these are basically fisticuffs. Well, actually, no, because they actually go more on your wrist, and then the Quest is the other way. Quest is more like a fisticuff. You could kill a man with Quests on.
Yeah, they're like brass knuckles essentially, but these actually go.
These are more bludgeoning.
Yeah, right. Yeah, these are for striking someone with.
They look expensive as all hell.
Oh fuck yeah, they do.
These are not. I don't know if I'm getting this. This is as expensive as could be, man. I'm glad they've moved away from the
very expensive when they first launched.
I'm glad they've moved away from what looked like a Panasonic dildo. So there's that. I'm glad we've decided to go for technical ability rather than form. But
these even from a form standpoint, these just look better. Like you said, the Panasonic dildo was just not doing it.
I mean, you basically held on to two light up dildos.
Yeah, these are significantly better. If you want to see some pictures, I'll probably put a picture up tomorrow, and along with the episode's out Friday thing, because I post to our Twitter like twice a week.
Because Twitter's a hellhole.
This is true.
Yeah,
I hate all of the social media platforms, but definitely check it out if you want to see what it looks like. It is sleek. It looks expensive. They've added some things that are not in Oculus. I mean, like the adaptive triggers and even the grip button.
The touch too.
Yeah, the touch thing is cool. These look. I mean, it looks like it's going to be cool. If VR is going to take off, I mean, this is definitely where it should shine. So,
yeah, we'll have to see what this costs. Any guess? I'm going to say $500 for the system.
Oh, I would say at least 400 because I feel if they get
Because
too
Quest
high,
2, Oculus Quest 2 is $299, and that's like I call
yeah.
that not. I mean, I wouldn't call it entry VR, but I call it like like the standard VR.
But PSVR has historically been what, like 300, 350,
God,
somewhere in
we
that
just did
ballpark.
this the other
I
day.
know we did.
Oh my
Um,
God, hold on, let me
but
look it up.
yeah, I think if they get up to the
Geez,
500 mark, it's going
two
to turn
ninety
too many
nine
people. 290.
is
Well,
PlayStation VR
now,
now. Yes,
yeah. I
HTC
think when it
Vive is
first,
$599. So I would suspect that they're probably going to want to sit in that like what $499 to like
I don't even know if
$349.
I don't even know if you want to go that expensive. I really think their sweet spot would be around somewhere between 300 and 400. You get above 400, now it
Well,
costs as much as the
I
PS5
guess
itself.
actually, the difference is on this too that it's an add-on, right? And I mean,
Right.
like Quest 2 actually does a good amount of like it does a decent amount of computing power as well through the use of the
Yeah.
controllers as well as the headset.
And the fact that we have not seen PSVR drop below that 299 mark really other than sales,
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to launch at 300. I think it'll launch at 400 probably. That's
I'm
my
curious to
guess.
see what the headset looks like. Watch them make it like a ring.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
it's like a crown that
sure.
you bestow upon your damn head.
Like a crown that's too big.
I mean, I think that'd be cooler than this bullshit of like, let me strap this thing to my face and have it just squish my face. So, but I think it would be worth the look at doing this crown thing, rather than doing that.
Yeah. Be interesting to see when and what this exactly is when it comes out, but we'll find out probably. I mean, they've done two kind of announcements for this within like a month's span, so I imagine this summer we'll probably see even more, and I think we may be
I think they'll
seeing.
do a big announce of that and a bunch of new shit for PS5 like around that E3 season ish.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And then
thinking too.
I
June-ish.
would imagine a fall release, like a launch in the fall for the VR.
Right.
I mean, you also got to figure too, right? I mean, supply chains and everything's so fucked up right now. Like there's the Samsung factory that does the screens for a lot of the Android phones as well as iPhones use Samsung screens has shut down. So like you figure something like that shuts down, a lot of these things, man, are going to be held back a lot. So it's going to be interesting. Cool. On to the next stuff.
GTA 5 just got a patch for the PC version. So this patch comes shortly after a player recently decided to take the time to figure out what was causing incredibly long load times for the online mode. So this person goes by Toast or Toast, or I assume it's Toast. It could be Toast. I don't know. Toast. We'll call him Toast. I like Toast. Toast claimed that they had figured out a way to increase the load times by nearly 70% and proceeded to post their findings process as well as an unofficial patch on multiple outlets across the internet. The short and sweet of this very long and impressive write-up is that the insane load times were due to a single-thread CPU bottleneck while starting up GTA Online. Rockstar did confirm that Toast's findings were correct, and the patch has now been released, with many people reporting huge improvements. And Toast also said that Rockstar awarded them $10,000 as part of Rockstar's bug bounty program, which is normally reserved for like security issues and things like that. So this is pretty cool. This is, I mean, you figure, well, it is only the PC version, so it hasn't been around quite 8 years, but it has been around for a decent amount of time at this point. And this person figured it out in I don't know how long it took them, but I started reading the write up and it was well above my head, so
Yeah.
I left it to much smarter people. But this person clearly has some talent and is very very good, and the fact that they figured that out and put this out into the internet, and then Rockstar was like, "Yep, nope, they figured it out, and here's 10 grand and thanks." This is cool. We don't normally report on a lot of these like patches and things like that, but this one was just kind of one of those special occasions where it's like, this is neat, and this person needs recognition for what they did. And it's really just kind of cool to see.
And basically like in the trying to think of like a dummy proof way of putting it. Basically, I mean the process by which is streaming and allocating what resources it could use at the time and how it would pull info in from the game to load the game for you on top of everything else going on through the service system was basically that essentially, like you had mentioned, the bottleneck. It was only squeezing everything through one rather than simultaneously utilizing cores for different values within the game.
Right.
So pretty brilliant. I mean, it's
they're
hire the man.
That's a better Cliff Notes version than what I put here in the notes. But yeah, I started reading it. I got I made it about halfway through it before I realized I didn't understand 3 paragraphs in a row, and I figured I should probably just go.
Dude, there's the part 2 where I was like, what the hell is this shit? But yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, they even put pictures and everything of them going through this process.
Detailed,
This was
incredible.
One of the most detailed write-ups I've probably ever seen on something like this. It was impressive.
Yeah, and it was pretty incredible, that someone does that, and it just shows their ability, and it shows sometimes how a company can have all the smartest people they want, but obviously there's always smarter people out there existing, right? So here's another great one we can discuss. This will be interesting. So Activision and Blizzard is doing Activision and Blizzard things, and earlier this week it was revealed that roughly 190 people have lost their jobs at Activision Blizzard, including 50 from the esports division. So it does seem that Activision is giving the laid-off employees decent severance packages, but they had the gall to also give these employees $200 gift cards to Battle.net.
Jeez.
The company's PC launcher. Tony Petitti,
Why?
an Activision executive, says that the layoffs are in one part due to a need to reduce costs and another to free up resources for other departments within the company. In other news, Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick could be getting a bonus to the tune of $200 million. Jesus. Thanks to a stock-related incentive clause that was written in his 2016 employment agreement. Okay, so can I be the bad guy? Can I give my opinion on this? Yeah?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
All
right, always awful when people lose their jobs. It's terrible. It's even worse when a company does not. Coronavirus, very unforeseen, right? A lot of companies, it came out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. In its speed, and it's not an excuse. But Activision obviously acquired Blizzard, a good amount ago now, and when you do that, you keep people on. And you have to, especially a company that size, you have to figure out what's going on, how things tick. You've got a Blizzard team that was doing things at the same time. An Activision team was ramping things up per department. You got to figure out who's the best of the best, who's not. Unfortunately, also companies like this do a lot of capital and spend a lot of cash flow. And in doing so, when shit like this happens and you have an entire department that's dependent upon events happening with in-person events that need to fill seats and make a shit ton of money, and they don't, and they're on the stock market, and they have investors, big name investors, public and retail investors that need to see the company doing the right fiscal things for the investor, and through the board, that they have to lay these people off. Will these people come back? I would assume so, to be honest with you. I think a lot of these people will come back. I think it will be slowly, because this whole thing is going to be a test of getting people back feeling. It's one thing to say, cool, it's gone now as a virus, and now we can just hire all these people back. It's another to get the people who were originally going to those things to come back to them now. Mm-hmm. Because there's going to be people who just don't feel comfortable going into crowds again. It's going to take them a long time after this. That's fine. That's their choice. Yeah. And then you also have this thing where a lot of this shit has just been done online now, to the point where I think a lot of people also see, hey, I just watch this online. I don't think I need to go to this.
Right.
I've just been more dedicated to watching this online. A lot of it has been, the gateway was watching online and then actually going in person. The
just
battle.net thing, that's fucking terrible. I don't know who decided to do
yeah,
that. That's stupid
I
fucking move.
I think there is something to be said for Activision actually keeping these people on through all of last year, even though we were not having these esports
Oh, I
events.
agree, 100%.
I think there's actually, everybody's wanting to frame Activision Blizzard for this and wanting them to hang for it. But I think there should be at least that tinge of goodwill for keeping these people on through last year in a part of the company that specializes in-person events. I think there's at least something to be said there. I'm not saying these guys are saints or
also
anything
severance,
like that, but
and severance packages as well.
Right.
We don't know the amount. However,
right.
Apparently they were decent.
From what I read a couple different things. Some of them were saying they were, pretty basic or pretty standard severance packages, and another one I read actually said they were really good. So I didn't mention any amounts because I don't know what exactly they were.
Which is smart. We don't want
the $200 gift card thing is absolutely stupid, and it's almost this like insult to injury type of thing. Like,
it would have been better just not even to do it.
This part or this whole like layoff thing may not have been as big of news if it was not for this $200 gift card thing. Like,
totally agreed. Because it's an angle.
Yeah. Because companies let people go all the time. It's awful that these people have lost their jobs, and we're not saying that's something we're happy to see, but it is, again, a business, and these things do happen. They happen outside of video games. They happen in video games. They happen all over the place.
Yeah.
So to believe that these things don't happen is being ignorant. And so, yeah, these things are going to happen, but Activision, by putting this stupid $200 gift card tacked onto the end of it. Yeah. And I'm sure, I don't know, I don't think it was with malicious intent, right?
No, but I'm sure it was always just,
one of those,
you go.
Yeah, it was one of those things like, God, you should have ran this by PR first. I mean, fuck.
Like it's an insult in some fashion, but honestly, it's an invitation for websites to write a clickbait fucking title, to be honest with you. Because I've seen the title. The title is Blizzard employees, 150 Activision Blizzard employees laid off, receive $200 gift card. And then you click it and you're like, they were kept on for a full fucking year when the department made no money. No money. We're not talking 50%. We're talking $0 for that department. And departments in a company like that on the stock market have dedicated budgets, dedicated department funds that need to be recorded and allocated. And to be honest with you, a move like this, when you pay someone severance like that, instead of just like laying somebody off, I take back what I said of them probably come back. They're probably not coming back. What's probably going to happen here is Activision's going to sit for a while and go, do people even want to go to these things? Or, to be honest with you also, I feel like a lot of these companies try to do it on their own, and I think they realize it's super fucking expensive, and instead they could just have a third party do this shit.
Right. And I think that's exactly where they're at. They've restructured how they're going to approach esports going forward. And I mean, 190 people is like 2% of what Activision Blizzard employs.
Yeah.
It's roughly 2% is what that shakes down to.
Which isn't
it's not insignificant.
Not insignificant, and it's still people's lives. And the game industry is really good for people like picking up another job at another studio. Unfortunately, when you do that, typically you've got to move, Yeah. I mean, these things, it's not like there's a big game company in every state or a bunch in your state, right? So, but yeah, I mean,
would just like to take a second here to remind people that you are from the video game industry. So before they want to fucking light their crosses on fire and come after us, like
you are
familiar with it.
Yeah, right? From my end, I've worked on.
You don't have to go into any more detail.
I don't. Yeah, I won't go on the companies, but I'll go on the company scales. So, like, I've worked for a very large company that made a large amount of money off of a game. I've worked on free-to-play games. I've worked on your standard one-time purchase retail game. I've worked on physical hardware, and I've worked on startups as well that are video game startups. And so I know from the small to the medium to the large size companies, like I've got a pretty good sense of it. And like I still do stuff on the side when it regards to video games. It's not stuff that we ever talk about on the show, and I'll never do that, and I'll never promote what I work on, who I work with, or what I work for. But yeah, like it is a business at the end of the day, and you know, like Overwatch League was really good. But like you could watch it and you would see the spend on it, and I mean you could sit there and be like, I don't think this is making money. Right. Like I don't think this is just, like you can't just do it for one thing. You have to, you know, move along with it. The last part of it with the $200 million bonus. Okay, so here's the deal with this, right? So he's the CEO. I think $200 million is ridiculous in terms of a bonus and an incentive clause. However, he made the incentive clause, and when the board of directors looked at it, they looked at his stuff. I don't think anyone is worth that, to be honest with you, at all. I really don't. I'm against big shit like this. I think if it was like, I don't even want to put a number, but like, if it was like a $2-3 million bonus, whatever it was. But this is a bonus incentive that was positioned in 2016. He negotiated it when he was going for his term with the board of directors. The board of directors voted on it. They signed it in. They allocated the funds to it. It's a publicly traded company. He made the initiative to do it. He took the opportunity, and he's made the company a shit ton of money. And in his clause, he said he wanted this as an incentive, and he's going to get it.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, it was not good timing for this to all come about, as they are letting 190 people go. And that's why a lot of these headlines you're seeing are mashing these two together. Yeah. And I mentioned it in here because I wanted it to be a conversation point. It is, I do not think this is related to them letting 190 people go. It's a stock related incentive clause. It is poor timing. And it is in poor taste for this to come out this week, but it wasn't even an official announcement. Yeah. It was something that was brought up, that somebody has been following Activision Blizzard and their stock and things like that. Like this was not something that was done in spite to the people that they have let go. This was something that would have happened regardless of whether they let people go or not. Again, 200 million is absolutely fucking insane. There's no reason somebody should be getting a $200 million bonus. But I mean, Activision stock has been doing well. That is why he made this bonus. And
also it's a stock related incentive clause, which again, he's going to get the stock. There's a vested time that he has to hold the stock. It could be a year. It could be 3 years. It could be 5 years. And he has to hold the stock. He can't sell it for an allocated amount of time. And it has to meet a certain goal to where he can cash it out. So, I mean, it's what he negotiated. Like, I can't, like, I just don't, I don't know. I think, like what you said, people take it and they mash it with what is happening, and the two are completely unrelated. Like the $200 million bonus does not fund the department of a publicly traded company to which it makes no revenue currently in the economic environment that we stand in. Nor did it at the time when it was running, to which now Activision has went and said, we just need to get rid of this department because it's bleeding money, and I don't see how we can do this going forward. So I mean, it's stupid. No one should be paid that much, but that point is as relevant as the $200 gift card.
Yep.
It's just a pile on, and it's like, okay. And it's like, I get it. People get, pissed off. I'm sure there's people who got fired from, or let go from this, and it sucks. Okay. But there's industries that got affected during this thing, and it all sucks. It's all fucking terrible. I'm sure there's people that got let go from a Holiday Inn, and then they see something like this and they go, this is fucking ridiculous. This guy gets $200 million. But that, I mean, what do we do, right? Do we say he didn't make the $200 million? Then what would the point be? Is the point that the $200 million would go to fund the esports department that's not making any money right now, and clearly wasn't making the money that they needed to originally? Because if it made money before coronavirus happened and they didn't have to sit on only 190 people, like you said, 2% of human capital cost in their company, okay, they wouldn't shut it down. They would say, cool, it's a moneymaker and we'll eat this cost, this 2% of employees, we will eat this department cost and we'll eat that cost and we'll be ready to go again and we'll be a revenue generating department after it. It clearly was not. So they got rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if that makes me the bad guy for making that statement, I don't know what to tell people. I mean, I have no idea.
So if you're the bad guy, I'm just as much the bad guy too.
I mean, it's just, you say these things and it's just people, lose their shit on it. Again, if you don't like that, don't buy their games. Right. If you don't like the fact that the guy makes a $200 million negotiated thing, or that they got rid of this business unit, whether it was for, what I discuss as being honestly the right business move, or you want to look at it from the people's perspective, which is fine too. I look at it as that as well. Don't buy their stuff.
Yep.
I mean,
vote with your wallet. It gets said all the time. And
if you don't buy the stuff, you would have never got this bonus.
Right. Yeah. It is one of those things that people are looking for that clickbaity headline and they put it together. And then even in the clickbaity article, or a few of the clickbaity articles I was reading through, they combine these things together. And at the end of it, you can't make any connection of them. Like, there is no connection between them. This is not how stock related incentives work. It's not based on letting people go. It's one of those things that, I mean, it sucks. And my heart goes out to these people that lost their jobs. But I'm sure they will be, I hope they will be able to find new jobs and be able to do the same thing or whatever they want. But it's this wanting to hang Activision Blizzard just because they as a business let people go. Yeah, and then somebody got a bonus
in the chat though. Like,
it's not quite right
in the chat. So like Ed points us out, and Ed, I understand what you're saying, but I also don't, because this is the whole narrative all the time with these stories. Right. It's Activision though. I don't think it would be a big deal if this was THQ or Yacht Club. Cool. So if THQ fired 150 people tomorrow, and the CEO of THQ got $200 million bonus, it wouldn't be a big deal. So then what's the deal?
Because it's Activision.
Because it's just Activision. A company that people like to shit on.
Oh, yeah.
But do nothing about. If you want to shit on them, you can shit on them in their accounting books by not buying their shit.
Well, and on top of that, if you're going to shit on them, at least have a legitimate reason to shit on them.
Right.
I mean, like the EA stuff earlier, are their microtransactions predatory? Absolutely. Do people buy them? Yeah. Do I think they should stop? No, because people still buy them. It makes them money. That's how the world goes around.
And that's how businesses work. This sense, I don't understand where this sense came from too. Like in our community, where the sense of I deserve this game,
right,
comes from. People are making a game for you. Like when they make these games, the game is for entertainment value first. You cannot make a profitable game unless you garnish retainment in the game, which comes from the form of entertainment.
Yep.
Like when you make a game, the focus on it first is how fun is this? Okay? Can we make a game that is worth the perceived value of it to an individual for $69 or $60, whatever? That's the first primary focus of game development. It is not how can we make as much money off of this one thing. I mean, if you watch most games in their development, when they go from like a Grand Theft Auto is a $60 game, they go to an online mode, and then they go like this. They start injecting things in, and it creates a thing. But it's like, it's just, I mean, I just don't understand it. Like, it's just, you vote with your wallet. But then at the same time, people like just complain and like rip on and harp on these companies, and then they just go buy anything they make. So it's like, what did you want? Did you just want to complain about it? If that's what you want to do, that's fine. That's fine. You have absolutely every right to do so and express yourself. But I'm going to disagree with it.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
I'm absolutely going to disagree with it because it just you're not actually coming up with any solution to it.
Yeah.
So that's it. I don't want to get riled up. I don't want to get us in trouble. I just people don't understand, and it's like, that's fine. But
Right.
they also don't try to ever understand. So,
No, absolutely
and it's
not.
just a vicious cycle where it feels like a lot of the time they're literally just fighting with themselves. And I don't know. I don't know what to tell people. Anyways, go on the Square Enix shit.
So there was a Square Enix Presents today. We'll probably chat about this as we feel needed as we go, so we don't have to circle back. But first up, we had Outriders, cinematic new trailer showing off many of the monsters in the world, and the world Enoch. Showed off a story trailer that set the backstory for the game, the 4 different classes, and what the gameplay looks like for those who have not tried the demo. I still haven't played it.
No,
I just heard so many people talk about how bad it was, and it's been downloaded, and I just haven't given it a shot yet. Anyway, this was, they also announced the game's in-game content, which is going to be called Expeditions. It looks like you're going to be traveling around with like a caravan of sorts, and you can upgrade the caravan, and it looks cool. But we'll see, because a lot of people had not so positive things to say about this. Next up, we had the 25th anniversary of Tomb Raider. They talked about the Netflix anime series, the new live action movie, crossovers with Ghost Recon Breakpoint, War of the Vision, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, Tomb Raider cookbook, so you can, yeah.
Like, I mean, I get it, sure. You know,
yeah,
I feel like this is almost more of a fucking greedy ploy than what we just talked about.
Come buy our Tomb Raider fucking cookbook.
What the fuck is whatever.
The Tomb Raider Definitive Survivor Trilogy, which is a digital bundle that has all 3 of the reboot games. And also Croft Manor will be joining Fortnite as a playable adventure in creative mode on March 23rd, because Lara Croft is now a character in Fortnite.
Good for them, man. It's pretty crazy.
It's crazy. It's wild. Mobile games. So they announced Just Cause Mobile. They just gave us a cinematic trailer. No clue on what the gameplay will actually look like. And this will be coming soon to Android and iOS. Hitman Sniper Assassins, a very brief cinematic. This was no gameplay shown at all, but it does hint that there may be co-op of some sort. And this will be coming sometime to Android and iOS. Space Invaders Take Over Reality. This is an AR mobile game that is kind of in like an alpha beta stage right now. And you can subscribe on square.enix-games.com for a chance to participate in the playtest if you really want to get into a Space Invaders AR game. Next up, we had the Tato section of the show, which was odd and meant nothing to anybody in the States, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Tao House Spell Bubble. This was clearly for their Japanese audience, and
Sure.
This is a bubble pop anime gotcha game. May already be out, but it's getting new content on March 25th. I don't know. I didn't research it either. I'm sorry. It's fine. It's a thing.
I love the bubble games, man.
Yeah. Darius Cosmic Revelation, a side-scrolling space shoot-'em-up available for Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4. Bubble Bobble for Friends, The Baron is Back. This is kind of an arcade platformer party game. This is available for Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4, but the part that was very confusing about this, it says via strictly limited games website for Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4. I don't know if it's only physical and there's no digital version. I don't.
Limited run games?
Huh?
Limited run games?
No, limited. It's strictly limited games website. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck it is. I have no clue.
Oh, I took it as like Bubble Bobble 4 is only going to be like through limited run games. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Limited run, right? The guys at Limited Run? Yeah.
Yeah, it's strictly limited games website. Because that's what I thought at first. Yeah. So anyway, the Steam page is open now, so there's that. Marvel's Avengers. So now we're back into the Square Enix Crystal Dynamics section of this. This is now available for PS5, Xbox Series X, and Series S with various enhancements, and this is a free upgrade for those who have bought the game. This extended gameplay trailer for Hawkeye that showed off a decent amount of his moveset, which also included some Ronin moves, which I thought was kind of neat. That was a nice little callback. So if for those of you that don't know who Ronin is, it's like Hawkeye's other alter ego, kind of, when he goes a little bit rogue. And it also showed off some of his story missions. They also gave a roadmap for future content coming in 2021. Operation Hawkeye Future Imperfect, Tachyon Anomaly, Red Room Takeover, Project Omega, Wasteland Patrol. And at the end of this, they also teased that Black Panther is coming to the game through an expansion that is set to come out later this year, which I do believe that all DLC for this game is supposed to be free. So I don't know what this exactly looks like unless this changes, but we'll see. Balin Wonderworld, a new trailer for this co-op adventure game featuring a decent amount of gameplay, available March 26th. I know there's a lot of people looking forward to this, but there's nothing about this game that entices me in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, Life is Strange True Colors. So the next adventure in the Life is Strange world is coming soon. This is about a girl that moves to a small remote town to reunite with her brother after growing up in a foster care system. Shortly after, her brother dies, and the events surrounding her brother's death are rather suspicious. So she uses her ability to read what people are really feeling or thinking to figure out what truly happened. The game has been in development since 2017 and will release on September 10th as one complete story rather than episodically like some previous Life is Strange games. Life is Strange and Life is Strange Before the Storm will release together in a remastered collection this fall and will be included in the Life is Strange True Colors Ultimate Edition. And most of these stories are like vaguely related to each other in the Life is Strange world. I personally don't play these games. I don't really get into narrative games. But supposedly there's some characters in True Colors that are from Before the Storm. So that's kind of their vague connection in some way, shape, or form. But I don't know what it is exactly. Again, haven't played them. Next up, they showed off Project Athea, which is the working title. And then they announced the actual title for it moments later. But the official title is Forspoken. And they showed off a cinematic trailer that had the main character, Frey Holland, and as she says it, a motherfucking dragon. The trailer went on to show some traversal and combat within the game. And this is set to come out in 2022. And this, at the end of this, they announced that there will be another Square Enix Presents this summer. Tried to rattle through that as quickly as I possibly could because you
did a good job. You did a good job, man. You did a good job. Yeah.
Anything here catch your eye at all?
Netflix anime series, that's pretty cool. All the Tomb Raider stuff's neat. The stuff in Fortnite's really cool because they did 3 versions of her. So they have like a early version of her, like classic, not with the triangle boobs, but like the norm, like they got rid of that. But she's got a less detailed face, less detailed body. Then they've got like a secondary one, and then they've actually got like the full one, like where she has like as much detail as possible that they can to meet the art aesthetic of Fortnite. That's pretty cool. That's already causing YouTube videos like this one titled "Lara Croft Fortnite Skin Thick."
Well, that's because Fortnite uses the same model for all of their males and females, pretty much. Like identical.
Yeah. So it's already loved by fans. The Tomb Raider cookbook, confused, but hey, we'll give it I'll take a look at it. I mean, do they have like a recipe up here that's already in here? Do they have like anything that's leaked from it?
I didn't see anything. No.
Ed
said he's going to be getting the cookbook just to see what it's about.
Here's one for the Barnes and Noble. It says official on here. Fish Cookbook and Travel Guide is a thrilling and delicious tutorial on recipes inspired by the cultural history of the many locations Lara Croft has visited throughout their 25 years of global adventures, bringing the taste back home to you. Based on the hit Tomb Raider video game franchise, this book features over 40 recipes inspired by the many locations. There's none in here.
Yeah.
You think Hoosier Pie's one?
I'm also not a massive.
Eh?
I'm not a huge Tomb Raider fan. I mean, not to cookbook level of Tomb Raider fan.
What?
I enjoy the games, but they're fine. Chat's getting dirty over here.
Yeah, I'm seeing Lara Croft's steam buns.
Time to raid Lara Croft's eggs. That seems like that could be an issue. Anyway,
Nick's first one was Double D eggs.
Jesus.
Don't know.
I'm so out of the Life is Strange games. This was actually probably the most interesting one to me because again, I don't really care for narrative things. I'd rather just watch a movie at that point. But this one actually did look like it could be pretty good, and most of them have been good. I mean, people love these games, but the Forspoken, I'm actually really excited to see more of what that game is because it looked gorgeous. And there's a lot of cool stuff going on there.
Space Invaders is pretty cool because it's all AR.
Yeah, I don't understand what an AR Space Invaders game really looks like at this point.
Oh, they showcased.
They showed a little bit of it.
No. They showed it off a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, they did.
An Apple
didn't
event.
Yeah,
the iPhone 12 or the iPhone 11 when they first put the LiDAR sensor in the back for the augmented reality.
It seems like some of these companies still keep trying to go after this mobile AR platform, and they just don't seem to be doing well. I mean, if Minecraft can't be successful with it,
well, Pokemon Go, people turn it off.
Right. Yeah,
I mean, like people turn that shit off, and then it's done. I think it's just cool that they're going to use an older IP like that, and they're going to put a new tech to it. That's why I like it. Just because I'm an old video game fan, but
what Just Cause Mobile is going to be, because it looked like there was a team of 4, but I mean the last game wasn't received all that well anyway, and on top of that, I don't feel like mobile is a great platform for something like that. If you wanted to do like a 4-person co-op Just Cause, just do a console version of it.
The evolution of mobile has changed too, right? Because it's like at first it was nobody wants to play the game on like your iPad or your iPhone or Android device because it just looks like shit, right? Yeah. And now they look really good. Like Fortnite on an iPad looks good, but it's terrible to play because the controllers are shit. And then by the time it's like, well, you can just sync up your PS5 controller. Well, why wouldn't I just play my fucking PS5?
Right, instead of a 3-inch screen.
3-inch screen, I can play like on the 70-inch screen behind me, right?
Right.
So it's like, why would I do that, right? And it's like, well, you can do it on the go. It's like, but why would I take my PS5 controller with me on a fucking airplane to play on my iPad?
Like I have those Razer Kishis, and those are fucking awesome. They're perfect. They fold up and you can put them in your fucking pocket if you really wanted to.
Yeah. But it's still a peripheral that you have to spend $100 on.
Right. It's still
and your tablet is like $200.
And I know mobile games do exceptionally well, but most of them are like just simple touchscreen
they're point and clicks
games for the most part. Yeah. Like, I don't know if Just Cause is going to lend itself very well to a mobile game.
Fortnite obviously did good on like iPhone and Android. I mean, it's still not on iPhone anymore. Right.
Yeah, you can sideload it on Android, but yeah, other than that. And I mean, even Call of Duty Mobile does very well too. It has its own like esports league, right? And it does exceptionally well. And they don't allow you to use controllers with that, I'm pretty sure. I think you have to use touch controls for the competitive aspect of it, but I'm not. That's been a while since the last time I looked at anything
crazy.
there.
But yeah, I mean that's like the evolution of it, you know. So it's like I don't know, maybe someone will like it.
I want to try Outriders. I need to play this demo and see what this is all about because I know everybody's shitting on it but I love the world they've created here. Like everything they've created with these trailers and stuff look really cool. And if they
Yeah.
can iron out this gameplay and stuff later on, that I mean, it would be worth picking up at a later point. But I want to try this demo out and kind of get my taste
Well,
on it.
I'm
I
coming
should've
over
done it.
Saturday, but we're gonna play like other games. But like Saturday night, you want to like
Yeah.
download it and then we play it because I'm probably gonna head
Oh,
back.
it's downloaded. Yeah.
Oh,
She's
okay. I'll
downloaded.
download on mine and then let's jump on there
Yeah.
and try it out and see what
Yeah,
it's all about.
I think it's worth a shot. But I mean, overall, this event was I don't know. It seemed for the first this is the first Square Enix Presents that we've had, isn't it? I mean, aside from like your normal E3 shit. I can't remember.
Like you mean like ever?
Yeah. I mean, aside from EA or from E3.
Oh yeah.
I don't think we've had one. Yeah, but for the first one, this was kind of it's fine. I mean, again, they started off with a game that so far has not been critically panned very well. Big part here is the 25th anniversary of Tomb Raider, and then they showed off their new IP, the Forspoken. And to me, and obviously, Life is Strange is massive for them as well.
Oh yeah, huge. But I mean,
Yeah.
Square Enix is like, I mean, they've obviously got some big IP, but
Yeah.
they've got big IP. It takes a long time.
Oh
build
yeah.
stuff
I mean,
for us, so
Final Fantasy games take eternity to make. So
yeah, and they also
it's-
didn't hit it very good with Avengers, and I'm sure that they would have liked
Yeah.
to have really nailed that because they would have probably made so much DLC for that shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think overall this was kind of I don't know why Square Enix really had this event. I don't know if there was really any big need for this event, to be perfectly honest.
Uh,
It was
yeah.
fine.
I mean, they're a company that makes good money in America, makes a lot of money in Japan,
This is true.
and maybe this is just like their entrance for us, and they just want to include us in it, right? I mean, they don't have to, and they'd still be fine, and we'd still buy their games, or a lot of people here would buy their games, and they'd still make a shit ton of money in Japan. But I think maybe they're just like, hey, you know what? We did the Marvel's Avengers thing. Maybe this is like a better way for them to understand their market here, So, cool. All right, guys. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Diggity Podcast. I'm available on PlayStation. My PSN is Maple Jeff.
And mine is Luscious Brody. You can find me at Luscious Brody on just about anything and everything. I have now made it across the board.
My God, he did it.
I did it.
I also love how you
They
posted
said it
that
couldn't
photo
happen.
of your character in COD holding the gun.
I had
Holding
to.
the, what was
I
it, like
had
an M16 or what was it?
Yeah, it was my M16.
Yeah.
I didn't put it on Twitter because I found a GIF for it instead. But GIF, sorry, a GIF.
A GIF. I don't really
A
care. I just
GIF.
call it a GIF because the guy who invented
It's
his last
technically
name's,
how it.
his last name's GIF, so I'm like, he probably wants
Right.
credit. Guys, leave us a review. It helps us out a ton. Thank you to those who left reviews in the past. Until next time, stay safe. I don't know. Go out and do something. Fuck, get out there. Get some sunlight for our East Coast friends here, because finally it looks like we're going to get some decent weather.
We out here looking real fucking pale.